Hi, I'm Dr. Sara and
And I am Dr. Alan Altman, and we're here on Love Bytes.
One thing that you might not believe, but I personally believe that the reason we have this high rate of divorce happening within the Western Europe or Northern American hemisphere is the love marriages. I really do think that when people think that they fall in love, then they agree to that contract. Marriage is a contract. You don't fall in love and emotionally disabled, then get into a contract, do you?
I love it. I absolutely love this. So you're saying that when you fall in love and then you get married, that's going to tip the scales towards ultimately getting divorced versus getting married and then falling in love.
Well, I'm not saying that you hate the person to marry them, but I'm just saying that when you want to lay out a contract, in real life, you want to buy a home, marriage is a contract, it's a social contract, right? So you need to look at all the criteria that matters to you. And I'm not also saying that if you fall in love, your marriage definitely will end up in divorce, right?
Clearly.
But I'm just saying if that is the only reason that you say, I can't live with this person, without this person in my life anymore, then you get married. 2 years later, you're either in my office or in the court.
Okay, now, there are cultures in our society where people are still brought together by planning. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the Orthodox Jewish Society. I'm looking
Hindus.
At the Hindu Society. And the belief there, and it's a very strong cultural belief, and it's like anything else, as you grow up hearing this and learning this, it becomes your reality.
Absolutely.
And what it is for them is he is introduced to her, and they choose to get married. And the belief is love will come. First we join together, first we get married, and then we fall in love. Mm-hmm. And there seems to be, statistically, a much higher staying together rate in that kind of situation. Now, that may be totally unrealistic for most of the people who are watching us. But I find it fascinating that you have that belief, and it is clearly backed up by the statistics.
Yeah.
So we can't cut this relationship stuff down to, well, it's a social contract and you got to sign the contract and then you fall in love later. Where do we go with this to meet in the middle? What's our advice for saying, well, it's not one extreme, it's not the other extreme. Where's the middle ground that can be realistic for people who are coming up?
Right. As you mentioned, it depends what is your reality, what you're brought up with. Let's say, for example, the people who are the second generation in this country, right? So they are from, Jewish background or Hindu background or Muslim background, that these arranged marriages or bringing them together plays a big part. We have to dissect this even further. So let's say, for example, in a Jewish community, it's a very closely tied community.
Absolutely.
So if you go off, fall in love with someone, and then how great they are, it doesn't really matter. But then if you can introduce him or her to the community, you're ruined for life.
Right, and we're not talking the entire Jewish community, we're talking about a specific small.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the other thing, thank you for the clarification, the other thing we need to know, when we talk about arranged marriages, people think that, like in this Middle Ages, whatever ages ago, I'm not saying that it's not happening, it does happen still, that people don't see each other and they just see each other in the night, in the bedroom of the whatever, wedding night. But I'm just saying that arranged marriages, I always tell my clients, when I have these highly accomplished men and women ending up in my office, why can't I find love? I'm like, that's your problem, you're looking for love. Why can't I find that special connection, meaningful connection? And everybody has a different definition for love. We have beautiful books on love, as they studied the chemistry, they studied the hormones, they studied how disabling it is, whatever or not. I don't believe in chemistry, I don't believe in all that. I just believe that if we believe that we are human beings, we have some sort of power in our life, we have to make it happen. Love is a verb. And it's an abstract. So the way that you define it, it will become your reality.
Okay, now I'm going to play the devil's advocate with that because, I'm sitting on a bus and I see a woman and I want to get to know her. This is, of course, before I've been married for 39 years.
Initial what? Attraction.
Right, initial attraction.
Is there.
Okay,
right.
So the initial attraction is there. Even in planned marriages, there's a meeting beforehand and there's an initial something that's there. So I see this person and my initial attraction is there and I want to see more about it. So what's my next step? What's the next step? I want to do this right so that if this turns out to be that one, I want it to last. But as I get to know her and as we date, I'm noticing an attachment to her, which I'm thinking is something called love. Have I made a mistake there, or how do I hold that off as to what you're saying?
That's a very common question, actually. Before you approach the woman, you need to do 70% of the work on your own. And then 30% is how to approach and why approaching, how to get to know each other. And I'll tell you why. If you just sit in a bus and then get attracted to someone, go in without knowing where you stand. Am I ready to settle? Am I ready? Why am I just feel, drawn to this person. On what capacity? Who is she in my life? Who is she going to be in my life? Is she going to be that, just an attraction for sex? Just a friend? What are we going to develop to? What I see in nowadays, and it's not only young people, and I love young people. I think they're very genuine, so I really don't like to, stigmatize them. But even in, our generation, in their, 30s or 40s, I see that quite a lot, that people initiate a relationship, they have no idea. They're waiting to things to evolve, for things to evolve. They have no plan, they have no idea, and so that's why they end up hurt. Feeling that attachment feeling grows up over time without that logical sense, that constitutional base to grow. So then they will end up being really attached to this person, knowing that she's wrong for all other categories in their lives. No career matches, no family, no upbringing, nothing they have in common. It's just that we are drawn to each other and we fall in love. Let's get married. That's not how it works.
You got to write a book on this. You do. This is great stuff. I think this gets down to the crux of it. And I think some people out there are listening and going, "Are you crazy? What are you talking about?" It's that connection. So let's go further with this. I think this is fabulous. Great topic.